Today we're joined by Crowd Media Managing Director Domenic Carosa.
Bronte, thanks for having me today.
Domenic, it's been a very busy few months for Crowd Media, which has executed significant financial turnaround.
Yes, it's been a pretty busy 12 months here at Crowd. Maybe before I sort of answer that particular question, I just want to at least give the people that are watching just a bit of context. Crowd is a social influencer company. We've got about 50 marketers here in Europe, based out of our offices in Amsterdam. Most of us are millennials. And what we do know is that millennials these days are spending pretty much all their time on their mobile phones or their laptops. They're on social media, so they are big consumers of media. And they're also increasingly doing much more shopping online. And that's really one of the key trends that Crowd is tapping into. From a financial perspective, we've seen a $2.7 million turnaround at underlying EBITDA level from last financial year to FY 2020, which just completed a couple of weeks ago. And so we're obviously very pleased with the financial turnaround of the company. At the same time, we've also launched 4 new brands, including London Labs and Keenan. You can read more about them on our website and our ASX announcements. And then I think most importantly, about 9 months ago, we were able to bring on board 2 very strategic individuals and investors. One gentleman who's now our chairman, his name is Stephen Shapira. He built his last company, Becca Cosmetics, which he sold for $300 million to Estee Lauder. And Robert Quant, who's a management consultant and was also the CFO, COO at Invincible Brands, which is a large German influencer company. They've both joined the board. They helped recapitalize the company about 9 months ago, and we're really now on got a really strong foundation in which to build Crowd on.
Domenic, we've seen COVID-19 have a big impact on businesses over the past few months. Have you seen much change as a result of the pandemic at Crowd Media?
COVID has certainly had an impact on our business like it has for the wider community. What we've basically seen is people are now spending more time online looking at content, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. At the same time, they're also spending much more money online, basically tapping into the whole e-commerce phenomena. And what I think COVID has done is just accelerated people's acceptance and adoption for e-commerce. And that's really an area that Crowd, being a social influencer company, is really tapping into. And so we've got a number of brands, including London Labs and Kin, a number of others, and we use influencer marketing as well as social media marketing on Instagram and TikTok to basically promote our products and services. And so we've actually seen a big increase, and we actually expect this trend to continue. And I think what COVID has really just done is accelerated consumers becoming more accustomed to and used to, not just millennials who are already used to it. I think it's also targeting the older generation. And I only need to look at my parents now, who are now spending much more time online, as well as actually spending much more money shopping online as well. And I think this trend is global and it's here to stay.
Yes, like your customers, I have been doing a lot more online shopping recently. Lastly, Domenic, what can shareholders look forward to in the coming months from Crowd Media?
Yeah, we're on track for another busy 12 months here at Crowd. First of all, improved financial performance. I think that's first and foremost, as we've stated to the market. 2, as we've also stated to the market, releasing another 6 brands in the European marketplace that will be effectively using our influencer network to promote and sell, as well as continue to work on our stated Horizon 2 and our Horizon 3 strategy. And I'm not going to get into too much detail. You can read more about that at our latest investor deck, which we released at the end of June. So you can learn more about our Horizon 2 and our Horizon 3 strategy. But suffice to say, we believe that influencer marketing over the next 3 to 5 years will fundamentally change. Right now, it's a very much a one-way conversation. An influencer says something, you make a comment in their post, You may or may not get a response. Most likely you won't get a response. Our view at Crowd is that we are basically we've got the building blocks in place to basically start building, what some people talking heads, but ultimately what it means is the ability for me as a consumer to have a direct one-on-one conversation with my favorite influencer, noting that influencer will be a virtual representation of that real person, but it will look, feel, and answer in exactly the same manner. And I believe this is really the future of influencer marketing, really trying to create a interactive conversation, which ultimately, putting my commerce hat on, leads to a transaction. And that, in our view, is really the future of influencer marketing, and Crowd is really at the forefront of that.
That all sounds really exciting, Domenic. Thanks for your time today, and we look forward to catching up with you next time.
Thanks, Bronte. Thanks for having me today.